Hi, my name's Chrissie Lightfoot from the Entrepreneurial Lawyer. Well, my story began actually 4 years ago. I was a practicing solicitor in the UK in a mid-tier law firm, corporate law, and I decided that I spotted an opportunity where we are right now in the legal industry, in the legal profession, and it was basically because of a number of factors: global economic crisis, big changes in the UK with Legal Service Act 2007, increased competition. I recognised an opportunity that lawyers increasingly so would need to market, brand and sell themselves. And it's been an interesting couple of years as I've dealt with what we would probably class as legal dinosaurs in some respect. They are here in all industries, and obviously a lot of lawyers do want to put their heads in the sand and hope this is all going to pass over, but actually technological revolution's here. The digital age is here. We're moving towards a data age as well. Obviously the young lawyers coming through, they're not just taught technical law now, they're taught how to be business developers. Legal education is changing because of the requirement that we need to position ourselves differently in the legal market, present and future. We've got new sexy players coming into the legal market in the UK and internationally. We've got new sexy business models as well. So there's a whole new entrepreneurial dynamic coming into the business of law, as we now call it. Therefore, the lawyers themselves need to change their behaviours and their skills and their roles even in order to adapt and survive going forward. Some of the new sexy players and the new sexy competition coming into the legal marketplace. For example, there's LegalZoom, which is probably the biggest brand over in the USA right now that are making inroads into the UK. There's also a Rocket Lawyer, that's venture capital backed by Google actually. Once again, they're moving into the UK and beyond. We've got Ajaz, who was the founder of FreeServe a decade or so ago. He's actually launched a new company called Legal 365. These are all entrepreneurial types. They're actually turning the traditional business model of law totally upside down because they're doing it from a client perspective. We've got Riverview Law, which includes some of the partners from DLA. They've recognised that actually in this global economy and the opportunities in the marketplace, they want to focus on the small, medium and enterprise market. It's affordable law for the average business, which is the mid-market, which is actually a growing market. So it makes a lot of sense. But we've also got, because of digitisation, because of technology, because of the new social networks out there, as Mark Zuckerberg said, he said this in 2010, if we look at the next 5 years, social networking, you'll be able to take any industry and rethink it. So let's take the legal profession. We've got lawyers who were let go in this recession back in 2008, 2009, 2010 even, because nobody's actually safe, it doesn't matter what level you're at. Those ones who were either let go or thought, quite rightly so, well, I need to be self-reliant, take a grip. The advancement that I once thought would be there as part of the working way up to partnership is probably not going to be there because the whole model and expectation is shifting. They actually have gone out and started their own businesses. Usually along the lines, some of them, that they're still using their lawyerly skills or their lawyerly knowledge and intellect and connections even. For example, one innovative new firm is called Property Place, and it's actually a Facebook app. And what actually happens there is it's a real neat way of helping consumers like you and I market our houses. So if we wanted to rent a room or rent the house out, or even buy or sell a property without actually going through the traditional channels of using a lawyer or even an estate agency, although the estate agents are on there, it means that you could actually do it just by connecting with somebody, a community on Facebook. What is running behind that, obviously, that should a user actually wish to have proper legal advice, a qualified solicitor, property lawyer, because it might be a little bit more complex because not all property buying and selling or even renting, if you're looking at a lease, running behind that, then obviously the owner is an ex-property lawyer. So he's actually got a company whereby any proper legal work behind it that needs doing at the normal conveyancing fee or whatever, all the advisors are there sat in the background. So it's actually mopping up all of the consumers or a ready market, if you like. So this is what other law firms, boutiques, virtual lawyers, franchise law firms even in the UK are having to compete with, because actually you need to be where the clients are, the consumers are, the business people are, and it's very smart what Property Place has actually done. So that's why social media and social networks are becoming increasingly important, and it's certainly going to be important in the lawyers' makeup going forward for them to actually be very, very successful. As we actually note in other industries and sectors now, if you don't have any social media, social network skills, you don't even get passed through the CV check or into a HR department. I will see that increasingly so in the legal sector as well. We're seeing a third of law firms now actually do have some form of social media advisor, whether it's part of the marketing role or business development. But once again, I would say that self-reliance is where we're at now in this economy and going forward. And because of that, it's paramount that the lawyer themselves have the individual skill set of being social media savvy, being able to have a portfolio and a book of business within a social network that they've built for themselves. Well, all forms of social media, it's a first touch, basically, because having your personal brand out there, people are attracted to it if you've positioned yourself properly. So you're in front of the kind of people that you do want to help the most and serve, basically. So by the time they've actually, looked at your personal brand, because that can be an attraction in and of itself. For example, Chrissie Lightfoot, the entrepreneurial lawyer, when I connect with people, it pops up on their profile straight away. If I recommend them, it pops up on their profile straight away. If I join a group, it pops up on their profile as well. So the interaction, the engagement actually happens once you've connected with somebody. Straight away I would ask them, great, thank you for that, thanks for reaching out, how did you hear about me? And obviously as soon as you ask a question, you get a response, you get an answer. So that's the first touch point. Second touch point is thank you for that, or what other groups are you involved in? And then they actually share that with you as well. So then I go into the groups that they're in, and we get conversations going based on a discussion that they've started or I have, or getting involved in a discussion that somebody else has started. So then you're actually meeting another community of people who are potential contacts and connections because you're sharing a similar interest, whether it's a work interest or a leisure interest. And I actually built my network rather fast because I identified strategically the type of client that I actually wanted to connect with, whether it's an entrepreneur or a lawyer or a specific sector that those lawyers would frequent as well. And I'd actually share lots of relevant information that I know that they would want to get their hands on, that would be useful to them to actually help grow their business and help them be more successful. So the focus is very much on giving and giving and then giving some more all the time, as in finding useful information or news or quotes or contacts, even making, introducing your contact to another contact. So I spend actually a lot of time putting the effort into helping other people be more successful. The outcome of that is obviously that the answers that I give and what I share in the groups is actually shared amongst other people, because they've said, well, obviously Chrissie's advised people. When I say advised there, I mean as in having an opinion on a particular subject, and it's great that you should share your opinion, because we all have them, and that is quite different to sharing facts or even sharing advice. I would certainly say as a lawyer that you don't give any legal advice in the social media stream, otherwise you get into a heck of a lot of trouble, individually and for your firm, and ethically you could end up in front of one of your legal boards. But it's that kind of activity whereby it is about engaging on a regular basis, and I mean kind of like every day, always doing something every day. Sharing information on your LinkedIn status, for example, attracts people to you. I have a lot of people wishing to connect with me simply because I'm sharing something of interest on my LinkedIn status, which obviously goes out to the homepage of LinkedIn on a feed stream every second, just like a Twitter. So, and LinkedIn is obviously connected and linked with Twitter and others. So if you put one message in that particular area, it goes across a different social media stream. So it's a very, very useful tool for actually amplifying your message and your brand. And that's where the magic really starts to happen. Not a lot of people understand this, and certainly not a lot of lawyers do. But that's also a barrier, because a lot of lawyers are pretty shy about marketing themselves and saying, and being confident and bold about their personal brand and who they are, and being authentic and being genuine. But I'll give you an example. For example, on LinkedIn, there are certain marketing norms, which is if you're going to write a piece of copy or to attract somebody, the way that you write, then you've got to do it in a way that's attention, interest, desire, credibility and action. And another thing that lawyers aren't very good at, and you know, I can confess I was very much the same until I went through this process, you always forget to ask at the end because you almost feel as if you're afraid to. But LinkedIn, you've got an ability there right at the bottom of your homepage profile to actually put that in there. And you're better off being upfront and saying, you know, come and contact me. If you're bot, please do. So credibility is another big thing. There's a fantastic area on LinkedIn. It's all about recommendations, because we buy because of third-party recommendation. We all do it. It's all about likes on Facebook, and similar thing on LinkedIn. Your likes is your recommendation. So there's lots of little gizmos in LinkedIn and Twitter that actually help your personal brand be amplified, and there's lots of tricks of how to do that, which I'll share with you in a workshop sometime, hopefully.
Very much, Chrissie.
Okay.
So if someone wanted to get in touch with you or learn more about your model, what do they need to do?
Go to my website, actually. It's www.entrepreneurlawyer.co.uk, and on there you'll be directed to anywhere that you want to go to, basically. You're able to buy the book from the site, the Naked Lawyer ebook, and you'll be able to get in touch with me direct about consultancy. There's also a lot of articles on there about social media, brand and social networking, and some podcasts, so if you're interested in that area, help yourself.